morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we've got a bunch of cards that have been officially revealed by the lovely folks over at the Pokémon Company from the upcoming Pokémon Card 151 expansion, and I, for one, am very, very excited. So let's start off with a card which causes me great confusion. It's Mr. Mime. Now look, Mr. Mime is one of my very, 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 very least favourite Pokemon. I despise Mr. Mime. That thing creeps me out. Okacheke is my favourite of the artists working for the Pokemon trading card game at the moment. I think their artwork is absolutely stunning. So I don't really know how to feel about this card, given that I adore the lovely Okacheke artwork, but I despise the Pokemon. Also, right, this is not the first time it's happened, and it's getting a bit weird, and I kind of need to talk to someone about this. Because one of my other least favourite Pokemon is Hisuian Sneasler. And who did the art on the special illustration rare in Astral Radiance of Hisuian Sneasler V? Yeah, it was Okacheke. Same artist. And there's actually one more Pokemon. I literally have a bottom 3 Pokemon. It's Mr. Mime. It's Hisuian Sneasler V, and it's Jinx. Weirdly kind of humanoid ones that aren't that humanoid, but are not really completely unhumanoid like the big chicken Blaziken. They creep me out and I don't like them. Yeah, do you know who did the character rare of Jinx? Hyaganosuke. My second favourite artist working in the Pokemon TCG. So my 3 actual least favourite Pokemon in the game have been drawn by my 2 favourite artists. That is a weird coincidence that I am not okay with. I don't know how that's happened. It seems like too big a coincidence. I can't rule out that somebody's messing with me, and if that's true, we might be living in a simulation, and the person running the simulation has way too much time on their hands. Either way, I do enjoy this card, the artwork at least. In terms of the card itself, if this Pokemon and your opponent's active Pokemon have the same amount of energy, it's basically immune to damage from attacks. Which is actually very cool, especially against single prize decks that really struggle to get that second energy on. But I also think that a lot of the time your opponent will be able to play around it by just bringing up a different attacker or attaching another energy. I would like to be wrong because this one does look very, 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 very cool. The other problem is the attack is terrible. Single energy, place 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. If I'm blocking, but this attack is this bad, and it is, what that basically means is I need to buy a lot of time to be able to do enough damage with this attack to make it worthwhile, and I'm worried that a lot of the time, even when I can block well enough with this, I'm still going to give my opponent too many turns to play around it, and I do think that is a little bit of a problem. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, speaking of Jinx and my dislike for Jinx, there's a new Jinx! There is a Jinx EX coming in the set, and it's potentially very, very good. Now, it's not for the free energy 120 plus sleep, that's terrible, nobody cares. The reason we like Jinx as a playable card only is because for 1 water, 2 colourless energy, instant KO on a sleeping Pokemon. No mucking about, no ifs, buts or maybes. If your opponent's active Pokemon is asleep, you get an instant, no question KO. No matter how much HP they've got, unless they've got something that prevents effective attacks, because this isn't effective an attack, boom, instant KO. It's clearly really, really good. Now, one of the big problems we have here is that you have to actually put your opponent's Pokemon to sleep in order to make this work. We got Hypno. In this same set, it's a card I showed you previously. So we really don't need to worry about the sleep, like, at all. As soon as you evolve up into that stage 1 Hypno, you just get an instant sleep on your opponent's active Pokemon, and then Jinx comes in and gets a KO. So we don't need to worry about that at all. And there is a really nice combo going on here. You evolve up into Hypno, attack with Jinx, instant KO on anything. And sure, having to have free energy is a little bit awkward, but this is not that difficult a combo to pull off. You're literally just talking about getting a single stage 1 evolution and free energy, one of which can be double turbo, and you're off. And there's no downside to double turbo here. You're not doing damage, you're getting an instant one-hit KO. So double turbo's whole you do 20 less damage malarkey isn't relevant here because you're not doing damage. So sure, you do 20 less damage, but you're not doing damage anyway, so that's irrelevant. You're getting an instant KO. Now, I've not seen this seeing a huge bunch of play and success over in Japan yet, that is fair to say. But instant one-hit KO on anything? Like, if we have big 2 and 3 prize Pokemon just ruling the format, this seems absolutely ripe here to just come in and, well, frankly, go a little bit nuts. So yeah, I like this, ladies and gentlemen. I like this very much indeed. The card, not the Pokemon. Now, in other, hey, look, that's cool, we should talk about this kind of news, we can have a little bit of a look at the new Starmie. I love the new Starmie. And now, I've got a little bit of a thing for Starmie, partly because Starmie in French is called Staros, which is obviously, a very nice version of my name. And if you listen to the French poker rap, yes, I've listened to the French poker rap many, many times. The Pokemon are in the same order as the English poker rap, which means that Starmie is at the end of a verse, which means a verse of the Pokemon ends with them yelling Staros. And that makes me very happy indeed. So, what do we got here on Starmie? Well, the 2 energy 50 is garbage. But once during your turn, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If you placed any damage counters in this way, discard this Pokemon and all cards attached to it. If you really need to do damage, this is actually very, very nice. It's a stage 1 that can drop damage counters. Like, we all know that in Scarlet and Violet, we got ourselves Hawlucha. Big fan of Hawlucha, incidentally. Got a little model of it on my desk while I'm working. And Hawlucha drops 1 damage counter to each of 2 Pokemon. This drops 2 onto 1. And sure, this is a stage 1, but the discarding is actually good here. Because you don't want this sitting on your bench doing nothing. Like, one of the big downsides of Hawlucha is that when you play it, it just sits on your bench giving you absolutely no value whatsoever. Whereas Staros here at least has the decency to just get out the way. Just gets off the bench, goes about your business. And we got featured as that new TM coming that we looked at the other day. TM Blindside that does 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon that's got any damage counters on it. So this could be a really fun way to get those damage counters on, as an example. And I'm not saying this is what you have to do. I'm just saying that there are a bunch of attacks like this where you have to get damage on. Think about something like Ting Lu, where you need to damage Pokemon to turn off their abilities once Ting Lu is in the active. Well, here, this could be what puts the damage on to stop. And I kind of love this. And I'm not saying you have to do this. What I'm saying is this gives you a very, very, very nice option. And not everything gives you these options. So if you want to get that little bit of damage on the board, that is only a little bit of damage, let's be clear. This is a very cool card for just getting that little bit of damage on and just being like, hey, that's kind of cool. And yet, you better believe I'm showing you the special illustration rare of Ting Lu here, because I just think that artwork is absolutely stunning. I pulled this, and I'm very, very happy that I did. And finally, we can finish off having a little bit of a look at Nidoking. Cool. It's a lovely special illustration rare. It's a secret rare. It's beautiful. It's been shown off on a stand on a rock because I don't know, why not? It looks kind of cool here. I like these kind of reveals. But it is a lovely new secret rare. It's an artwork rare. It's an illustration rare in English. It's something I thought would be fun to show you. Now, the ability here, Enthusiastic King, if you have Nidoqueen in play, ignore all energy and the cost of attacks used by this Pokemon. Doesn't say ignore all colorless energy or all darkness energy. You're literally ignoring all energy. So Venomous Impact, 190 damage plus poison, is now literally a free attack, which is absurd. but you have to get 2 different stage 2s on the field. So yes, it is absurd and ridiculous and way too good, but also it only works if you've got both Nidoking and Nidoqueen on your bench, or on your field. Nidoking might be in the active. That is a lot to ask, and I'm not saying it won't work. I am just saying it is a lot to ask. Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know. Now it's over to you guys. Which of these cards do you like? Do you agree with my opinion about these Pokemon I don't like? Or am I just being a little bit weird about these strangely humanoid Pokemon? Let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely William Shaw, who's been a supporter of ours for a little while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.